You are looking live at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. Texas A&M hosts Ole Miss in an SEC West matchup with bowl ramifications for both schools. Ole Miss still needs 2 victories just to become bowl eligible. Texas A&M needs to snap back in the Aggies' quest for a New Year's 6 assignment. It's a Saturday night in the SEC. More than 100,000 folks on hand here in one of the grand settings of all of college football. You know, there's just simply nothing like a Saturday night in college football. Whether you're watching a game on TV or perhaps listening to some old friends. Now, long before high-def televisions, iPads, and smartphones, there was radio and the great voices of the SEC.
Stand back left, in motion to the right. He's going to throw it downfield, and it is intercepted.
Fans hanging on to every word by the light of the radio dial.
Billy Cannon raced some 89 yards for a touchdown.
Growing up in Montana, I listened to the greats of the early days of sports broadcasting, Bill Stern, Lindsey Nelson. And when nightfall came in the summer, a legendary voice came over the mountains from the City of Angels. A voice that found its way to the gridiron as well.
Looking, throwing in the end zone. Dwight Clark.
The great Vince Scully. That was his last football game for CBS, 1981. San Francisco rallying to defeat the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL playoffs. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. You know, those legendary voices, they worked alone. They didn't have partners to rely on in the booth. So tonight, we're going to try something a little bit different for a half. I'm going to fly solo up here in the booth. And my partners down below, Jesse Palmer, Kaylee Hartung, they're going to work the sidelines, and we'll see how it goes. But Jesse, to start the night, we've got an unbelievable quarterback story with both teams.
That's right, Brent. Backup quarterbacks. That's a big story in tonight's game. Starting for Texas A&M, Jake Hubinek's going to get the start now. He is experienced. Started their game last year against Louisville in the bowl game. Played the most meaningful snaps against Mississippi State last weekend. He's not as good a runner as Trevor Knight, but he is very accurate throwing from the pocket. He has a very good demeanor in the pocket and a quick release. I'd expect the Aggies offense to look a little bit different with Hubinek behind center here tonight. Meanwhile, for Ole Miss, at some point we're going to see the talented true freshman Shea Patterson. He was the #1 rated high school quarterback prospect coming out last year. Hugh Freeze has lifted his red shirt because he believes he gives them their best chance to win. The coaching staff tells us he is extremely accurate, has a very good grasp of their offense. Certainly, there are more ideal places to get your first start than here in Kyle Field. Over 100,000 loud fans who'll be trying to avoid Myles Garrett, one of the best pass rushers in college football. Just how well the young true freshman handles this atmosphere goes a long way in determining who wins tonight.
Braden Mann's kickoff will be taken by Ole Miss in the end zone. It'll come out on the 25-yard line. We expect Shea Patterson to start. We check in down below with Kaylee.
Brent, it was just yesterday that we learned we would see both Shea Patterson and Jason Pellegrin in this game. But Hugh Freeze told me on the field pregame that he made his mind up on Sunday that he would be tossing Shea Patterson's red shirt. Now, of course, that decision had to be made with consultation with Shea and his family. But this decision didn't need to be made by one individual's emotions, rather a decision for the best of the team.
Ready to take his first snap. It's a high one, so he scrambles out of it on his first run, slides to the 44-yard line. How about that? The young man from Shreveport, Louisiana, who finished at the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Here he is with the offense after a 16-yard run. Akeem Judd is alongside. Swinging to the outside is Judd, the senior from Durham, North Carolina. Donovan Wilson makes the stop. This the starting lineup with Shea Patterson wearing number 20. And he has Akeem Judd. You've seen him with his first carry. 139 rush yards last week. The Aggies defense, we talk a lot about Myles Garrett, but guess who the leading tackler on this team is? Number 14, Justin Evans, JC transfer, and a hard-hitting safety. Second and 10 with the ball back at the 41-yard line. Play action, Patterson going to go deep sideline, juggled incomplete. And that was great defense by Nick Harvey on Stringfellow. Take another look at this, folks, and watch the corner. He's in a foot race, lost eye contact, but with that left hand, able to just knock it away. Third down and 10. Have to reach the Aggies' 49-yard line for a first down. Another high snap on one hop. Take a loss. Ole Miss is forced to punt. Now let me tell you the story, because we were with Hugh Freeze down on the field. He said, I've got problems with my offensive line, and I have to tell you, not having either of my veteran centers tonight is going to impact our offense. On this entire series, the snaps were high, and as a result, Patterson saves it, didn't turn it over, and here is the most dangerous punt returner in the land. Christian Kirk is back deep. Ole Miss is determined not to let him return a single punt. Freeze telling us that if he does, if he touches a punt, my punter is going to hear from me. So now it'll be the first series. And Jake Hubenak, the junior from Georgetown, Texas, will come out. He was a redshirt at Oklahoma State, went to Blinn JC, and then a year ago, when the Aggies lost a couple of quarterbacks, he started the Music City Bowl. Last week, his numbers. Here is number 10, but alongside him, the running back is going to be Keith Ford to start this game. There's a screen to the outside, and Reynolds, and Ole Miss swarms all over him. Miles Hartsfield, a freshman safety, leads the way. What a beautiful night for a football game here in eastern Texas. Just a little over an hour from Houston on the Gulf. Play action, Hubenak. Short of the first down is Ricky Seals-Jones, who's knocked out of bounds by Derek Jones. So with Hubenak at quarterback, the young man, Trey Williams, we're going to see a lot of him tonight. He could be a 1,000-yard rusher this year. He already has 104 yards on the ground. Hubenak checks over at the sideline. Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator for the Aggies. Need to reach the 45-yard line for a first down. Breaks a tackle. Going to run for it. Got it. Crosses midfield and slides to the 39-yard line. So Jake Hubenak, doing his best imitation of the injured Trevor Knight, picks up 21 yards. And you can see as it broke down, it was wide open on the outside, and Hubenak took off. And it is first down and 10 at the 40, and a handoff to the running back Ford, who is stacked up after a short gain. So it'll be second down, and the ball will be spotted on the Ole Miss 39-yard line. Trey Williams checks in for the first time. He's number 5, Ford number 7. Here is Williams crossing the 35-yard line. So this is going to bring up a third down and very manageable here. Brown, the senior defensive end, with the stop for Ole Miss. Need 4. Check the sideline. 4 receivers spread across, 3 at the bottom of your screen. Must reach the 30-yard line for a first down. Protection, holds, and incomplete. Coverage on the outside by Tony Bridges, the senior from Collins, Mississippi. Check his defensive work on this. Does not lose contact with Speedy Noyle. And now it is 4th down. Ford will be the running back. Cards are flashed on the sideline. An offensive signal is given to the quarterback. Dropped by Christian Kirk. They had the first down on that pass, and number 3 couldn't hang on. Ball goes over to Ole Miss. As you take a look at this, Kirk normally sure-handed in this situation. We'll take a break. We're scoreless, Texas A&M.
Scoreless here in College Station. Very interesting watching true freshman quarterback Shea Patterson on the sidelines after that first series. Did not seem flustered, sat by himself, got on the phone, talked to his coaches, encouraged his teammates before taking the field again. Looks very confident here before they start their second series.
And here is the young man. If you're wondering why would a quarterback wear number 20, his grandfather was an NBA player with the Detroit Pistons. The young man takes a snap, rolls to the right off the action, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. In watching him in pregame warmups, you can see why the scouts were so impressed with his arm. It is something to behold. He throws a Don Drysdale-like fastball, and he can throw on the move with a quick release. 2nd down and 10. Fakes the toss, got a wide open receiver and was just a little short with that ball, but Ingram was able to make the play, and they moved the chains for a 1st down. Good play by number 17. That's his 54th catch of the season and 14 more yards. That's a thing of beauty. And so far, Freeze has to be very pleased with what he's seen from this freshman. And an 8-yard burst by Judd with the passing game starting to click. That, of course, opens the way for Akeem Judd, who's 5'11", 230 pounds. So we get an early indication of what the offensive game plan will be for Ole Miss. Now we expect to see Pellerin on those 3rd and short all night long. Judd bursts into the middle. It'll be a 1st down at the 12-yard line. John Chavis's defense is now having difficulty in the gaps with this running game because they have to respect this young man's arm. John Chavis over there on the right. It's Judd again. And he's down at the 7-yard line. It was the quarterback keeper which hurt this defense time after time over in Starkville. Akeem Judd has been powerful so far in this game, averaging 4.7 yards a carry. 7 rushes, 33 yards. Ole Miss will operate from the right hash. 2nd down and 5, and Brasley checks in as the running back. And they were ready for young Brasley. Threw him for a 2-yard loss, and this will bring up a 3rd down. It's going to be noisy for young Patterson. Rolling to the right, was going to keep it, threw it, out of bounds. That was Stringfellow on that side, and Harvey, who's been very active. Take a look at this coverage back in the end zone. Stringfellow opened briefly. Was that interference? Perhaps I was just seeing things. It's not if you get away with it, young man. Now 4th down, and here's Gary Wonderlich. A 25-yard field goal puts Ole Miss on the board first. Hugh Freeze and the Rebels need 2 wins to become bowl eligible. They lead the Aggies by a field goal. Over 100,000 people, including former President George Bush, who was upstairs watching this game here tonight. It's very nice to have number 41 along with us, Mr. Bush the Elder. Noble kicks it away for Ole Miss, and it'll come out on the 25-yard line. And let's go down below to Jesse.
Yeah, Brent, you know, Jake Hubenek just spent this time on the sidelines talking with his wide receivers, being very specific about the adjustments he wanted in their route running. You know, Jake Hubenek might be a junior quarterback making his first start here tonight, but sure doesn't sound like it. Really taking a lot of command and ownership of this offense early.
Well, Jesse's used 2 running backs, and Keith Ford checks back in. Of course, who knows what would have happened if that 4th down pass had not been dropped by the Aggies. They had mounted a decent drive, and here is the redshirt junior from Cypress, Texas, Keith Ford. Play action. Hubenek's got a man wide open. He doesn't drop this one. Kirk in a foot race. He is out of bounds at the 6-yard line. Derrick Jones saves a touchdown, but it's a 69-yard gain. Hubenek to Kirk. Moves forward over, comes back to right side, dives end zone, touchdown Aggies. That's Trevor Knight with his arm and shoulder in that sling, who was one of the first to greet the offensive players as they came off the field. Daniel LaCamera on for the extra point. (7-3) Texas A&M. Set up on this one completion. And how good does number 3 feel after dropping that 4th down pass? And that set up this forward run. First touchdown of the night. .49 remaining in our opening quarter. Texas A&M 7, Ole Miss 3. The ball is on the tee for Braden Mann, a freshman from Houston. Carlos Davis awaits the kickoff. Carlos, a veteran from Birmingham, Alabama. There he is, number 23. And it'll come out on the 25-yard line. It's a 1st down and 10 for the freshman. Ingram. And that's about a 4-yard gain on that strike. Larry Pryor. When you watch Patterson throw the ball, notice the tight spiral, folks. This is an emerging arm in the SEC. He was the #1 thrower at the Elite 11. So he comes from a rich background, and he was a 4- and a 5-star for everybody. In trouble, though, and he's going to be sacked. He's wise beyond his years, folks. If his receivers were covered, he did not risk an interception. Live to fight another day, and how hard is that to teach a young quarterback? 3rd down and 8 now. Blitz. Will not get the first down. He's out to about the 43-yard line. Here comes the punting team on. And remember what we told you. Hugh Freeze said that if number 3, Christian Kirk, touches a punt tonight, the punter will hear from me. Now they send Wunderlich out. This is their strategy. Keep it out of the hands of number 3, who has returned 3 punts for touchdowns this year. They're going to throw. He's going to go deep. Caught. Defender falls down, but Reynolds stepped out of bounds. Reynolds was out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Now watch as the defender will slip on the play. Reynolds, and then he steps out of bounds. That was Tony Bridges, who went down. It would have been an Aggie touchdown, except that Josh stepped out of bounds. So the first quarter is going to come to an end with Sumlin and his Aggies up 7-3. The debut of much ballyhooed Shea Patterson, but it was Christian Kirk on the 69-yard reception, setting up our lone touchdown of the first quarter by Keith Ford. 7-3 Aggies.
Welcome back to College Station. You know, Aggies offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni told me he wanted Jake Hubenek to get the football to Christian Kirk in the passing game and take shots to Josh Reynolds. And early in this first half, Jake Hubenek executing the game plan flawlessly.
Yeah, he certainly has, Jess. He's 4 of 6 for 116 yards. Hubenek on a botched play will scramble to the 20-yard line, able to pick up a couple yards. But this is a big 3rd down now coming up for the Aggies. Kirk and Noyle are both to the left side, along with Seals Jones. Seals Jones, the taller there. You see when he turned, number 9. So the receivers turn, and there's only 2. And the signs that are flashed to see what the call is. Need 8. This is Noyle. Battling for the end zone. Touchdown, Speedy Noyle. Let's take another look at this just to make sure that the knee wasn't down before he battled his way into the end zone. Take a look. The knee appears to be down with that view, doesn't it?
The runner's knee was down before the ball crossed the plane of the goal line. Therefore, the ball will be placed inside the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
So they'll put it inside the 1 on the left hash. And the Aggies had a good view of it. And Jake Hubenek and the offense will come trotting out. That was a 19-yard gain on 3rd and 8 on that pass. What a receiving corps here in College Station. You could argue that the Aggies have as good a receiving corps as there is in the country. Keith Ford already scored once here tonight. He's the running back. Battling end zone, touchdown. For folks who like to play fantasy, what a pick Keith Ford would be tonight. 2 touchdowns. Here it comes, folks. You know, other than the United States military academies, are you aware this is the largest military corps of any college or university in the country? That's right here at Texas A&M in College Station. Fire that cannon. Come on, Lance. Did you get the order? Thank you. Now the injured Trevor Knight, and what a great teammate he would be. He has a twin brother at Oklahoma. And wouldn't it be something if the Sooners and the Aggies made it to the Sugar Bowl? Twin brother against twin brother. That'd be something. That is one of the well-known yell leaders at Texas A&M. They don't have cheerleaders. They call them yell leaders. And this place is one of the noisiest venues in college football. They're loving it right now. Ahead 14-3. And Ole Miss will have the ball out on the 25.
Well, welcome back to College Station, where for the first half of this game, I've got Jesse Palmer on the sidelines with me, which means Brent Musburger is upstairs in the booth by himself. This is a tribute, an experiment, if you will, to Vince Scully. As this week, Brent, we send our congratulations to you as Fordham University honored you with the Vince Scully Lifetime Achievement Award in Sports Broadcasting.
Brent, congratulations. Kaylee and I, the rest of our crew, we're lucky to work with you every week. We hope you're enjoying the extra room up there. And I got to tell you, I have a whole newfound appreciation for what Kaylee does. This job is hard, man.
I have to tell you, Jess, I'm lonely up here. I'm going to give the entire sideline back to Kaylee. Rasley, not much doing at all. And Larry Pryor, number 11. Remember, he replaced Watts. Second down and 9. Rasley going nowhere. Moore, number 7, made the first contact. That's Richard Moore out of Cedar Hill, Texas. Another third down for the young quarterback. Bailed out by a penalty last time. Flushed. Breaks a tackle. Got the first down. What a gutsy run by number 20. And quickly, they come up to the line of scrimmage. But take a look as he breaks a tackle right there. And he picked up the first down. Patterson again. They come right back with the same play. And breaking a tackle is Brown. Couple of things on this play call. First of all, there was no indication on the penalized play that they could stop Brown. Watch this. Same thing. Shields the defender with that big body. It's a 28-yard gain for the 6'2", 225-pound freshman. Judd is stuffed. Can't even get back as hard as he was battling to the original line of scrimmage. So it will be second down and goal with Patterson hoping to get the call, but not. And you can just see the look on his face. That's a good look. What you want from your quarterback always is a competitor. Judd again, and he is stopped by the middle of that defensive front, and that brings up a third down, and Patterson will check in. Ingram goes off to the left side with 2 other receivers. That puts a receiver man-on-man at the bottom, and that is Stringfellow. He has size, the right side of Patterson. They'll stack 3 to the left. The corner backs off of Stringfellow. Patterson scrambling, dropped it, but recovered it. So he double dribbles the scramble, but saved the turnover, and here comes the field goal team. And remember what we told you why he wears number 20. He put it on the ground just like Granddaddy used to do with the Pistons. Here's Wonderlic. Staying alive. 14-6. Aggies lead. Hugh Freeze and the Rebels, they need touchdowns instead of field goals. One of the great voices of all time, Lindsey Nelson there with a headset. Vin Scully, of course, just announcing his retirement after 67 yards. And then, yes, back in the day at CBS, and that a Super Bowl just outside of Detroit in the snow, and seeing President George Bush reminds me he was then vice president, and he held up traffic tremendously when he came to that bowl game, which was won by the San Francisco 49ers. Here's Evans. Evans has a hole. Can he beat the kickoff man? 50-foot race. One player with the angle. Out of bounds across the 10-yard line. Cedric Woods and Carlos Davis able to save the touchdown, but Justin Evans with a 90-yard return. It opened up right there. Only person that can catch him is somebody with an angle. There he is. Woods gets there. Now it will be first down and goal from the 7-yard line for Jake Hubenek. That is a backbreaker for Ole Miss. Williams checks in. Kirk, the motion receiver. Goes one-on-one end zone off of Noyle's hands. He was defended there by Jones in the end zone, and it will be second down and goal. When you sit up here with this great crowd and you watch this game unfold, you still wonder, how did the Aggies play so badly last week in Starkville? Ranked number 4 in the only poll that matters, and they were upset badly. Kept by Hubenek. He is to the 1-yard line, and now it will be third down and goal. Kevin Sumlin's team appears to have all the weapons, obviously. Losing Trevor Knight as early as they did in that game impacted the outcome. Keith Ford, the touchdown maker, back on the field. There is Trevor watching. What a strong team leader he is. Play action. Wide open for the touchdown. That is Speedy Noyle. He had one taken back by instant replay. There's no doubt about this one. Set up by a 90-yard kickoff return by Evans. Oh, yes, the traditional kiss. Scenes like that make you wonder, why didn't I go to school here? So here's LaCamera. And it's 21-6. Hit it again, lad. So it is 21-6. Texas A&M coming up in the second half. You don't want to miss it. Jesse Palmer returns to the broadcast booth. The most rusted man in all of broadcasting. Now let's go to Darinoka with Booger and Chris.
Well, Coach, starting your backup quarterback, you're 2 scores ahead. What do you make of the way Jay Kubinak has managed your offensive flow?
Yeah, you know, he's done a nice job. His demeanor is always the same, good or bad, which helps him in this kind of situation. But we're a little sloppy, you know, too many penalties. And then extended drives on defense, got to get them off the field and got to play a little cleaner football.
Your defense has allowed some yards to Ole Miss, but what's allowed the success to stop them in the red zone?
Well, I mean, we've been a good red zone defense. You know, we've been giving up yards. We extended the drive twice with 2 penalties. You know, we got to get off the field and gave them 3 points during that time. So, you know, to be where we want to be, you know, we can't just give stuff away like we did in the first half.
Yes, Coach.
All right, thank you.
So the battle of the backup quarterbacks, and right now, Mr. Kubinak and Texas A&M with a 21-6 lead over the freshman Patterson and Ole Miss. And look who found his way back home. We welcome back Jesse Palmer.
I'm out of breath. I've never walked that much in my life. No wonder Kaylee Hartung's in great shape. You got to walk a lot back and forth to each sideline. I was lucky enough just to find my way back here to you.
A lot of big plays. Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, and Kaylee Hartung just spoke with Coach Hugh Freeze of Ole Miss. Kaylee?
Well, Brent, there's a disconnect. Hugh Freeze told me for his defense when it comes to the effort that he's seeing. There was a blown coverage that cost him points there. He says these guys have got to make plays when they see them. I heard so much of that discussion throughout the first half with the defensive staff to those defensive players. But as for that offense and his own backup quarterback, or I should say the guy who ripped that red shirt off of for Shea Patterson, he says he is playing his guts out. But when there is edge pressure, Patterson has got to learn when to throw it. He's handed a couple off that Freeze says he can't do.
Onside kick to start the second half, and the Aggies recover it. They'll get the ball near midfield. Not a bad try when you're down 21-6.
Yeah, there's Hugh Freeze just trying to find a way to spark his team here, playing on the road in a hostile environment with a young true freshman quarterback that Kaylee just talked about in Shea Patterson. But give Texas A&M a ton of credit. Look at everybody just staying heads up on that return team. That time, Riley Gardner, number 35. Great job with the hands. These dribblers are tough. Took a big shot.
But that will give the Aggies the football on their own 48-yard line with a 1st and 10 to open the second half. Keith Ford barges into Ole Miss territory to the 47-yard line.
It's going to be really important that Texas A&M continues to run the football and be physical. That's obviously where Ole Miss defensively has really struggled this year, stopping the run. And I think this Texas A&M Aggie O-line, they're better run blockers than they are pass protectors.
Kept by Kubinak. 1st down, Aggies.
And he's not the same runner as Trevor Knight. He doesn't provide the same big play explosive runs that Trevor Knight does, but he can do that. You know, he can run the zone read, execute it, and have enough success to force you to respect him if you're Ole Miss's defense.
Speedy Noyle is bringing the play in from the sideline. He replaces Tevyo. Jet sweep, and Christian Kirk's going to throw it deep. Got Speedy Noyle. Touchdown on incomplete. Could not hang on. Oh, mercy. Almost had 6.
What a trick play dialed up by Noel Mazzoni. This is double misdirection, because first you have the fake jet sweep to Christian Kirk, and then a fake reverse. And what an effort by Speedy Noyle, who's I think had a phenomenal game here so far, stretching out, laying out for that ball. He's one of the fastest players on Texas A&M. Just couldn't complete the catch throughout the entire process.
So close. Went down to the ground, and of course the receiver, different rules for a receiver than a running back. Here's Williams. Burst to the 30-yard line and about a yard short, it appears, of the first down.
Yeah, Texas A&M loves these outside runs where they pull linemen and they try to get the uncovered offensive lineman to go pull. That time it was the center Erick McCoy, only a freshman, but at 305 pounds has really good wheels. Nice job with his athleticism.
Williams battling.
Wow.
See where they spot it.
Fidel Brown, number 6, just ate up his block. And what a difference he's made to this defensive line since he's been healthy. Missed the first 6 games with a foot injury, but he's been on fire. Their last 2 games against Auburn and Georgia Southern. He doesn't want to come out. Look at him. He knows he makes a difference to this defense. 6'4", 270 pounds, extremely athletic and extremely strong.
Ford's the running back, up under center. Went to the hard count again. This time they didn't jump. Keeps it himself. He's in a dogfight with the middle of that defense. Ole Miss may have stood its ground. Let's see where the spot is, and let's see if they measure again.
Benito Jones, the true freshman defensive tackle, slammed into the center and forced Erick McCoy to stand up, and that hurt Hubenek trying to run forward. Hubenek ran right into the back of his center because of the play by Benito Jones, who had a great jump on the ball. Yeah, they didn't get it. Watch this outstanding true freshman, Benito Jones, right here. Watch the jump he gets off the ball and just slams right into the center and stands him up right away, and that prevented Hubenek from getting north. You know, Hugh Freeze has had so many good recruiting classes since he's been at Ole Miss. Benito Jones last year, the number 7 overall prospect in high school, making a huge play there on 4th down.
So they are 0 for 2, the Aggies are, on 4th down. And that time the hard count did not bring Ole Miss offside. 1st down and 10. Patterson will come with Judd, the running back, for about 2 yards. It's interesting just to watch Shea Patterson. He is very good with his hands on the fakes, the play actions, quick in bringing it back.
And he looks like he was very well coached, certainly in Shreveport growing up and at the IMG Academy, where he finished up his high school career. Very polished with his footwork, and you're right, and with ball handling too.
Now they're going to bring Judd in motion. Patterson looking downfield, comes back to the middle, got a 1st down with Ingram, and then some, crosses midfield. Evan Ingram.
He's a guy that can surely help out the young true freshman quarterback and be his outlet, be his security blanket. The leading receiver in the SEC does such a good job working over the middle of the field. He is a mismatch problem for Texas A&M to cover. I think 17 needs more touches here in the 2nd half.
17 yards. Plenty of time. Couldn't find an open receiver. Sideline, and the receiver coming back is A.J. Brown, the freshman. How about Shea Patterson?
Yeah, Shay Patterson buying time and wide receivers working the scramble drill. Things aren't open downfield. Patterson's flushing himself out, but receivers like true freshman A.J. Brown working back to the boundary to give his quarterback a place to go with the ball.
23 more yards. Far side strike to Lodge. And he is forced out of bounds by Capers Smith in a battle over there on the side.
I think you can see Patterson's confidence improving. That was a laser. That was a far field Sunday type throw. That doesn't get there quick. If those are late, those get pick sixed.
Finish this off with a touchdown, and it's game on in College Station. Deflected, incomplete, and it will be 2nd down and goal.
And John Chavis now deciding to dial up some more pressure, bringing linebackers Ataro Alaka that time and Sean Washington trying to force the ball out of the true freshman's hands early. Red zone offense has been a place really where the Rebels have excelled this year because they've been able to throw so many touchdowns. Down here with Chad Kelly, now without him in the game, going more to a run package now. Jason Pellerin takes over at quarterback.
sack back at the 19-yard line, and the Aggies say they've got it on the fumble recovery. Big number 92, Henderson, rolled in on the play. And so far, the change of quarterback has not worked.
That's going to be Texas A&M ball. Zakoven Henderson wins. On contact, he knocks the football out of the hands of Pellerin. No longer has control. Then Henderson able to come up with it. I disagree with the quarterback change. Your best thrower is Shea Patterson. He's into a rhythm. He's driving the field. I don't agree with the situation to take him out. It just killed the momentum of that offense. But what about the Aggie D2? Their second takeaway in this game, now the 23rd on the season. They've been outstanding this year at taking the football away.
Henderson's a junior from Longview, Texas. Went to Longview High School. And what a great play, giving it back now to Williams, Travion Williams.
And just too big of a hole. There's nobody for Ole Miss filling on this play. The biggest issue they've had defensively is linebackers not being where they need to be in gaps, or missing tackles, or not being able to shed blocks. Biggest reason why they're giving up 241 rushing yards per game.
Here comes Hubenek now, firing it downfield and overthrew. Noya was working across, so it's incomplete. It's second down and 10 as we check back in on these playoff rankings, and we will see that there's your top four. Clemson has already lost. Washington's in trouble. Jess, your thoughts about who might move in?
Well, I think it's Ohio State as of right now. They've looked really good now these past 2 weeks. Louisville's in a dogfight right now, by the way, with Wake Forest. But we're going to see more chaos, Brent. So many big games in conference left for a lot of good teams.
So let me ask you, because they were number 4 before they lost to Mississippi State. Auburn was beaten today. Is there any chance this Aggie team can begin to climb back in to the chase for a top 4 spot?
I think it's going to be difficult. I think if Alabama locks up the West and goes on to win the SEC, you know, A&M still has a huge game against LSU, and if they were to dominate that game, finish 10-2, they'd still need chaos in front of them. But I'm impressed just the effort that they're giving here tonight. They're playing like there's a lot still on the table.
This is 3rd and 8, and Hubenek's going Noyle. He overthrew him. And again, the Aggies are going to have to punt it away.
Themselves a bit of a defensive struggle here right now, all of a sudden here in the second half. And that's one I think Jake Hubenek knows he should have hit. Speedy Noyle had a great release off the ball. Jake Hubenek, normally an accurate deep ball thrower.
Jefferson goes back deep. Trapuka has been a tremendous punter here tonight. Look at this hang time. That punt almost brought rain, and it finally bounces out of bounds. It's going to be marked at the 10-yard line. First down and 10 from the 10-yard line. Shay Patterson with the handoff, and that is Brasley, who's checked back in.
I think if Ole Miss is going to get back in this, they've got to keep taking shots vertically down the field, because that's their identity, and that's what they do. They did it with Chad Kelly. They've got 7 receivers that are 6'2" or taller that can go up and high point the football. They've got to let Shea Patterson give these guys an opportunity.
They have 3 of those wide receivers in this formation. There's that play action. Sideline complete for a first down. So they sent 2 receivers out, and Adebayo was camped out all alone. Patterson brought it down underneath, and it was an easy run for the first down.
Yeah, really good job by Patterson, just working through his progression here. He's got the slot receiver running a go. That's taken away covered, so you get to your second target, Adebayo.
Ball on the Aggies' 44-yard line. Fakes the throw. Judd battling. Check that now. That was Brasley who checked in a couple of plays ago. So that's his second carry in this series to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Presley again, but not going to get the first down. Here's 3rd down and short. And here's a test for the coaches. Do they bring Pellerin in, or are they going to stick with Patterson? Hugh Freeze has decided we're sticking with the freshman. It is 3rd down and 3.
So Myles Garrett out there, he has a high ankle sprain. It's forced him to miss some time. He's been toughing it out. He's played a lot of snaps here tonight.
Patterson moves the pocket to the right. On the move, throws for a first down to Jefferson. The one thing we noted in practice is how Shea Patterson can move in either direction and throw, and he snapped that one off beautifully.
Yeah, it just looks like he's throwing the ball with a little bit more conviction here in the second half. He's starting to find his rhythm.
Play action. Got one-on-one. End zone. Incomplete. Slipped through Jefferson's fingers.
And that's a good throw by Shea Patterson that Van Jefferson has to find a way to come up with. That's going to be a very difficult catch.
Ole Miss definitely not out of this football game if they can strike. Judge the running back. Patterson keep it all the way, and he is to the 25, bringing up about a 3rd and 6. Linebacker George made the stop.
Yeah, and we got what appears to be a passing situation here. Ole Miss now with their left tackle, Greg Little, the true freshman. Very talented, going to be a really good player one day. He's been seeing Myles Garrett, number 15, maybe the first pick of next year's NFL draft. What a matchup.
They run for the first down. A powerful run by Akeem Judd, the senior.
I think Hugh Freeze is beginning to get aggressive running the ball there because I think they're in 4-down territory and they're going to go. See, the left guard gets completely swam by Kiki, but just a nice job running. Inside cut by Akeem Judd.
So it will be 1st down and 10. Sean Rawlings will be the center on this. He's a sophomore. Patterson going to swing it outside. There's Brown thrown down at the 9-yard line.
If I'm Shea Patterson here, Brent, I'm thinking about Evan Ingram at tight end. He's my best friend down here in the red zone. He's been fantastic for Chad Kelly all season long down here where the passing windows get small.
Running again against the middle of that, but it will bring up 3rd down. So that time Judd not as successful. So the seconds ticking away here on the 3rd quarter. Ole Miss trying to give itself a chance. It'll be 3rd down when you come back. The money quarter is next in the home of the 12th man. 3rd down. Rolling to the right. In trouble. Cuts back the other way. Johnny Manziel, do you believe it? His first touchdown pass. Shea Patterson hits Damaray Stringfellow. How about that cutback when he was trouble over there?
This looks like there's nowhere to go with the football. And then Patterson able to turn around, freestyle, and find a wide open receiver on the other side. And I'll tell you what else. Give the offensive line credit for not getting more than 3 yards downfield on those long developing plays. How many times do you see ineligible receivers downfield? Unbelievable play by the true freshman.
Hugh Freeze going for one. Wunderlich tacks on the extra point. Down by 8 now.
Hugh Freeze told us, we think he gives us the best chance to win and to go to a bowl game. And it's plays like that that I'm sure Hugh Freeze and this coaching staff have seen in practice the entire season. You and myself, a lot of other people out there, Ole Miss fans, haven't until right now. He's a special young player.
That is the 4th time that Ole Miss has driven inside the 10-yard line. But it's the first time they've been able to come away with a touchdown. 2 field goals, lost fumble, and now a touchdown pass by their freshman quarterback. From the 4-yard line, Williams. Travion Williams slips a tackle, but he's short of the 20-yard line. Keith Ford, the Aggie running back. Kubinex hit, sack, ball. Let's check this out now. When this was whistled down, that was Marquise Haynes.
This defense playing with new life as well right now. Marquise Haynes just flies in. He's able to beat Keaton Sutherland, number 78, to the quarterback. They're pitching a shutout here in the second half, and you see the touchdown by Patterson, how that's brought new life to the D. It all kind of works hand in hand. All the momentum now, I think, on the side of Ole Miss.
2nd down and 18. Kubinex to the swing receiver, Kirk. Kirk to the 14-yard line, but here's your 3rd down for the Aggies.
With that pass rush again, you've got to identify where number 10, Marquise Haynes, is. With the speed, the lightning quick first step, you can't let him come unencumbered to the quarterback. He leads the SEC with 3 forced fumbles. They've all come on sacks. He is a nightmare. He's lined up down here.
Have to get to the 29-yard line for a 1st down. Going to set the screen pass, and it's read brilliantly. That is big number 93 from Greenville, South Carolina, DJ Jones.
This is the Landshark defense. This looks like the Landshark defense that we had seen the last couple of years. Hadn't seen it a lot this season. Guys are flying around. You're seeing this big athletic front giving Texas A&M problems. You've got a little bit of that swagger back. There's a lot of pressure now back on Kevin Sumlin, Noel Mazzoni, this Texas A&M offense to generate something.
Trapuka gets it away to Jefferson. Fair catch. Fumble. Loose ball. Free. Jefferson able to get back on it and save the moment. So watch the fumble on the fair catch. Live ball. And Jefferson hops on it. Oh, my. Wilson, incidentally, back on the field after that injury. Patterson on 1st down. Got a man wide open, and he overthrew him. He had Ingram on the far side. Ingram had about 3 to 4 steps on the defender, and he just overthrew him.
Absolutely right, Brent. That was going to be a touchdown for Ole Miss. And sometimes they say the hardest throws to complete are the ones where the guy is completely wide open. That's one Patterson would like to have back.
2nd down and 10. They went back to the same side, different receiver. Stringfellow, I believe he caught it. I believe he stuck right with it. What a catch by number 3.
And a great job by this coaching staff continuing to take shots, because that's what they do. Stringfellow, who has extremely strong hands, reaching out, plucking it, tucking it, had possession all the way through the process.
A 40-yard reception. Ball across the 25. Here's Judd. Judd breaks free. 10-5 touchdown Ole Miss. What a 2-play sequence. A 40-yard reception by Stringfellow and a 21-yard touchdown for Judd. Now you figure to go for 2.
And what a change of events. Defense playing well. Young true freshman quarterback growing up before your eyes. And just like that, you got a game.
Fires incomplete off Stringfellow's hands as he was jumping. The Aggies cling to a 2-point lead here. So for their first 9 drives, Ole Miss without a touchdown. But because of this unbelievable catch by Stringfellow, they are able to strike with an Akeem Judd run. And they have scored touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Shea Patterson brings them down the field. Their last 2 drives, each resulting in a touchdown. Line drive kickoff is fielded by Williams on the goal line to the 24-yard line. But Hubenek looking the other way. Complete to Noyle. Midfield. Speedy Noyle out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
I think Speedy Noyle obviously gets overshadowed by guys like Christian Kirk and Josh Reynolds, but this guy's got incredible talent, and he's having a big-time game. This guy can jump 45 inches, is great speed. And coming out of New Orleans, out of high school, he was rated the #1 athlete. His position was as an athlete, played quarterback in high school. He's made some big plays here tonight.
And that one for 26 yards, that big play. First down and 10. Williams ran into his own man, it looked like, as he was trying to get the edge over there. This will be second down. Second down and 6. Here's Williams, and he's eaten up. Loss of a yard. Cedric Woods, one of the defenders in there.
All right, we talked about this A&M O-line. They're a better run-blocking O-line than a pass-blocking O-line. They had the benefit with Trevor Knight. There'd be pressure. He could scramble and escape. You don't quite have the same scrambling ability now with Hubenek. So this O-line, they have to hunker down and just give him that added split second to work through a progression.
Third down. Williams, daylight, first down. Good vision by number 5 that time.
And a play call that I don't think Ole Miss's defense was ready for. I think they were expecting pass, and D linemen pitting their ears back trying to get upfield. But the quickness in the burst by the true freshman Travion Williams. Nice change-up play call there by offensive coordinator Noel Mazzoni.
So Ford will give him a break. Number 7 on the field with a first down at the 33-yard line. Ford cut off. Battles his way for the gain on that.
It's really nice to have that 1-2 punch if you're the Aggies. You kind of have the speed and explosive running of Travion Williams. Then you've got Keith Ford, the Oklahoma transfer at 215 pounds, a little bit more physical, and get the dirty work done in between the tackles.
Josh Reynolds is at the bottom of your screen. This is a 2 tight end formation. And they run Ford, did not get the first down, and now it's third down.
There's Noel Mazzoni. Throughout the years, does such a great job working with the strengths of his quarterbacks. Trevor Knight was a lot more similar to Brett Huntley because of their running abilities. Jake Hubenek, not quite the runner, more similar to Brock Osweiler, who he coached at Arizona State, or Josh Rosen last year at UCLA, so you see more of the run-pass options. Who's he got dialed up here for Hubenek on a critical third down?
3 receivers to the right. Jeffrey, number 13, is one of them. Noel is alone at the left. He comes back to the right. First down to the 15-yard line, and he hit Jamal Jeffrey, the junior from Lufkin, Texas, who had just checked into the game.
Really nice job on the release. Trevor Knight loves it on the sidelines. Bump and run, man-to-man. Somebody's got to win. And the young Jones getting it done, keeping this drive alive. Good-looking answer by the Aggies versus an Ole Miss offense that scored on their last 2 possessions.
They bring in the extra offensive lineman over to the left side, tight end to the right. Powerful run formation. They come with Ford, and he is stopped around the 12, 13-yard line. So the Aggies have gone to a jumbo look on their offensive line to use a little more manpower against this defensive front.
You notice too, Brent, they've slowed the tempo way down, trying to give their defense, I think, a little bit of a breather. They've had their backs against the wall versus Shea Patterson. Just trying to be physical here, running, making sure they get the right call, checked at the line of scrimmage, trying to own the line of scrimmage.
Play action, Hubenek goes, Reynolds grabs it. What a great grab by Josh Reynolds. He saw the one-on-one, and Josh Reynolds did the rest, the senior from San Antonio, Texas.
It's hard to imagine this guy didn't have any D1 scholarship offers coming out of high school, but at 6'4", he's got those long arms, and he's able to elevate and make contested throws. He's been one of the better deep threats in the SEC for the last 2 years now, and a nice job, as you mentioned, by Hubenek finding his one-on-one matchup. Very nice answer. They were under pressure to have to answer Ole Miss and offensively come up with a touchdown drive.
LaCamara can make it a 2-score game. He does with that extra point. Shea Patterson with 6:41 to work with. But Ole Miss needs a touchdown and a field goal as Trevor Knight welcomes the offense back to the sideline. Back of the end zone, we go to Kaylee.
Well, Brent, as Shea Patterson tries to rally the troops, he's got the support of the Ole Miss staff behind him, but interestingly enough, that includes his older brother, Sean Patterson. He's an associate director of recruiting operations at Ole Miss, usually is upstairs in the box for games like this, but tonight wanted to be on the sideline to support his brother. His advice to his younger brother going into tonight was this game is going to have its highs, and it'll have its lows. Your play won't be perfect, but you've got to play each play and play the next play. I have heard him throughout the course of this game, good, bad, in Shea's ear, saying play the next play.
Well, here is that next play, Kaylee, with a first down from the 25-yard line, empty the backfield and give him 5 wide. Sprinting away from trouble, what he can do so well. He's going to be lethal on the move, Jesse.
No doubt, extending the play. It's such a big part of any offense and a quarterback's skill set. And that's not something you can coach. You can't teach a guy how to do that. You either got it or you don't. Young number 20's got it.
Keeps it. Beautiful ball fake. Got the first down and got himself down before he took a lethal blow. I'm telling you, this youngster's got that it factor.
And it's being able to avoid negative plays like that and turn them into positives. So crucial for an offense.
The chains playing catch up. Patterson. Incomplete. into the middle, and Ingram was there.
Well, he's lucky that wasn't intercepted. Number 33 that time, Sean Washington, had a chance at an interception, and Texas A&M's doing a good job of double covering Evan Ingram. And on those plays that number 17 Ingram's double covered, Shea Patterson has to make sure he works somewhere else, because if someone's double covered, that means somebody else is left one-on-one.
2nd down and 10 for the Rebels. Sprinting to the left, he's going to keep it. Get out of bounds at about the 47-yard line, right there at that 1st down marker.
He's able to outrun Myles Garrett, who's very gingerly getting up off the turf. We talked about him not being 100%. Had that high ankle sprain against Arkansas. He'd been playing situationally these last couple weeks, only on 3rd downs. He's gutted it out. Just how much more does he have left in him?
Ole Miss spreads the field. Patterson's back. Whips it to the far side. There's Brown, breaks free. Out of bounds. It is a 1st down. Ole Miss on the drive again.
It's really important right now for Texas A&M that they're able to try and keep Patterson in the pocket, but you've got to secure tackles out in space. A.J. Brown, true freshman, 225. He just throws Harvey off him.
Back. Going toward the end zone. Jefferson, touchdown! How about this?
Keep taking shots, because that's who you are. And the offense doesn't have to change because of Shea Patterson's skill set. Just like Chad Kelly, accurate deep ball thrower. There's been a lot of one-on-one opportunities. This time Van Jefferson, remember, he dropped a touchdown in the 3rd quarter on really the same play, making amends for that. Shea Patterson looks like he's been starting in the SEC for 4 years.
3 consecutive touchdown drives for Ole Miss. Gary Wunderlich, the junior from Memphis. They know they've got a chance with this youngster if the defense can stop the Aggies. A beautiful throw. Doesn't get any better than that. Game on. Veterans Day celebrated. Here's the core at Texas A&M. Outside of the service academies, the largest core of any school in the country. Coming out is Williams. Not a good decision, but a penalty flag flies. Now the Aggies are having trouble. They lead this game by 2, but there's 5:12 left. They've been backed up inside the 10-yard line. They come out with the running game, and Williams battling hard for about a yard. And Jess, you know, we've seen Ole Miss a couple of times. We saw Leonard Fournette run up and down the field on him over Baton Rouge, and of course he's a great running back. But this defensive front here in the 2nd half played pretty well.
Yeah, they're going to have to play really well right now, Brent, because it looks like Texas A&M wants to keep the football on the ground and try and grind as much cloth off the board as they can.
Staying on the ground, but this is 3rd and long. I got to tell you, Jess, there's too much time on that clock to be simply run it. The way that Shea Patterson and that offense is playing, they're going to have to take a crack and try to get some 1st downs.
No doubt about it. They've got a great receiving core. There doesn't necessarily need to be a go-to guy. They should feel like they have a favorable matchup across the board. If you're Hubenek, let coverage dictate who gets the ball.
Hubenek on the move, hit on the release, and it's 4th down. Ole Miss forces a punt. That was number 10, Haynes. He was applying the pressure that time on Hubenek. Take a look at this.
It was initially Fadal Brown on the inside, number 6, that forced Hubenek outside. And there's Haynes cleaning it up. A 3-and-out by this Ole Miss defense when they need it the most. That was a huge shot Hubenek took. slow getting up. And now it looks like Shea Patterson's going to get the ball back with very good field position and 3 timeouts in his back pocket.
Trapuka hangs one, and there's the fair catch from Jefferson. Bobbled it again, but able to secure it. The 12th man roaring in College Station. Pump fake. Comes back middle high and incomplete. Overthrew Jefferson.
Hey, you're seeing Ole Miss with a lot of these pump fakes. They're pumping flat routes, swing routes, shallow crosses underneath to try and free up bigger plays down the field. So very important for Texas A&M to have good eye discipline, get your depth, get your targets in coverage, make sure you're in the right spot, and keep the football in front.
Big hole to the 50-yard line. Akeem Judd, and it is now 3rd down and short as a result of that run.
And Texas A&M is trying everything defensively. They're moving around Myles Garrett, defensive end, defensive tackle, seeing if they can free him up to make a play in the backfield.
Aggies showed pressure. Ole Miss changes the play. Quick throw for the 1st down, and breaking the tackle is Ingram. And Ingram is just shy of the 40-yard line. 1st and 10.
And good ball handling by Patterson on the run-pass option very quickly, like a shortstop, getting out of his hands quickly into the hands of Ingram, allowing him to go make something positive happen.
Another hole in the middle. Across the 40 to around the 38-yard line, and it is 2nd down.
And Texas A&M, Brent, they keep double covering Evan Ingram. They are not going to let number 17 beat them. But you got to feel good if you're Patterson elsewhere. Attaboy Joe, Stringfellow, A.J. Brown. There are other guys out there that have been winning their one-on-ones and that are dangerous deep.
Patterson going to run out of trouble. Going to step out of bounds. Another 1st down. Kills the clock at the 25.
It's creepy, but he really does look a lot like Johnny Manziel when he runs. You want to be careful and hesitant when you make that comparison, but just the body action, the body language, the way he carries the football, the burst he has. There's his brother. He's loving it.
His brother should go out and recruit him a couple of offensive linemen. 1st down and 10. Ball's at the 26. Come back with that running play. This has been a very well called drive. Not giving up on the run, not throwing it on every down.
Keep in mind, Brent, they've got one of the best kickers in the country, too. There's Gary Wunderlich. He's a Lou Groza semifinalist. 16 for 17 on the year. His only miss from 55 yards. He's the most accurate kicker in the SEC, and they are in his range.
100 yards for Akeem Judd rushing here. Blitz off the corner, and the youngster throws right to it. To the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down. Justin Evans was the defensive back.
I don't know how Shea Patterson knew that was coming, because he never looked over and ID'd the blitz coming. Heads up play. Hugh Freeze owes it to the seniors on this team to play Shea Patterson and try and get to a bowl game. It was the right decision to play this guy.
Patterson scrambles, gets down. The clock is running, and now it is stopped with 41 seconds to go. Claude George brought the quarterback down, and it'll be field goal time.
What a play by Patterson just to try and get some of those yards back. It looked like Texas A&M was going to corral him back by around the 27-yard line. Patterson was able to kind of sneak out of it and get the ball back to the 21 to make this field goal a lot more manageable.
I believe that's, let me check that. I think that's Will Gleason they sent in to hold it. Yes, it is. It's going to be Gleason. There's a just inside 39-yarder on its way. Good. Ole Miss 29, Texas A&M 28. 37 seconds left, however, for the Aggies. Don't go away.
What a second half by Shea Patterson, making plays, getting his team back into this football game, setting up this kick by Wonderlick that looked like at first it might miss right. Just hook back left, plenty of leg, plenty of distance, and the young true freshman quarterback. Welcome to the SEC, bud.
He thought he'd missed it too, I think, Jess, by the way, his body language over there. So Ole Miss behind Shea Patterson puts up 24 points here in the fourth quarter. On the ground, where the clock stops. Fielded at the 15-yard line. Williams spins out to the 33-yard line. First down, Hubenek throws it away, and it will be 24 seconds remaining on that clock.
I think if you're Texas A&M, you probably got to get to around the 35-yard line of Ole Miss to give Daniel LaCamera an opportunity to win this game as your kicker.
Reynolds, Noyle, Kirk, Seals, Jones, all out there. Middle, intercepted, game over. Ole Miss upsets Texas A&M. They'll get them off, and they'll take the victory formation. Texas A&M cannot kill the clock. They're out of timeouts. That was Deonte Anderson from right up the road in Houston, Texas, who makes this interception.
Hubenek was trying to hit Ricky Seals-Jones, running the post route down the middle of the field. He was double covered. He stared the route down. Or sorry, it was Christian Kirk. Deonte Anderson, the true freshman, comes up with the play. They've been true freshmen all game long for Hugh Freeze making plays. And what a big win for him. I think he's got a star at quarterback in Shea Patterson.
The arrival of Shea Patterson from Shreveport, Louisiana. Authors the comeback win by the Rebels of Ole Miss. Now one win away from going back to a bowl, and so much valuable workout time for this young man. However, he played tonight like he doesn't need a lot of extra time to get ready. He was, in a word, magnificent. And there are the children and the friends. Mom is close by. Let's go now to Kaylee.
Coach, how do you describe the emotions of this win?
Man, we've been through so much this year, and most of us have been on the downside. Our kids fought so hard tonight, and you know, we're shorthanded, don't have many linemen, quarterbacks. Shea played his guts out like we knew he would. Defense really played well in the second half. I'm just so proud of our kids, for our fans that came here, our program. It's a big win for us. We got to try to win a couple more and get to a bowl game.
What was it like to watch a true freshman in Shea Patterson grow up before your eyes tonight?
Well, I mean, I've known him. I've recruited him since he was a ninth grader. And I've always felt like he had that it factor, and it did certainly show tonight.
24 fourth quarter points. How do you explain what they were able to accomplish in the fourth quarter?
Well, we just kept chopping. We should have scored some points earlier, and, you know, messed up in the red zone a little bit. They're pretty good in the red zone. But, man, we just kept chopping wood, and we got more opportunities because our defense got stops.
How was your defense able to do that? When we talked at the half, you were frustrated with it.
It was. We had a few talks in there among us and the coaches, and just thankful that people like Fadal Brown, Tony Connor, Isaac Gross, those seniors said, man, we're going to fight for 60 minutes, Coach. You don't have to worry.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Kayla.
Up in Mississippi, all the talk is about Hugh Freeze's new quarterback, Shea Patterson, number 20. Oh, yeah, it's good. We're going to win this baby. Oh, what a night. We hope you enjoyed it. For Kaylee Hartung, Jesse Palmer, I'm Brent Musburger. So long, everybody. Let's go to the studio.